Do your drawings look lumpy like the cell of an amoeba? Do you often misplace your drawings on the page? You meant to draw something in the center, but it has ended up on the side. Are your drawings oftentimes much larger or much smaller than you intended them to be? Do you find that your drawings look awkward or unnaturally posed? If you've said yes to any of these things, you are struggling with construction shapes. Behind lines, construction shapes are the second most basic unit of art. They are part of the foundational sketch of a drawing. Construction shapes are there to position your drawing where you want it to be, and also make sure that you set yourself up for correct form as well as perspective of whatever you are drawing. Do you want to take back control over the way your art looks? Do you want to draw quicker? Then let's dive forward. This is the first exercise we're gonna do. We're gonna draw together wine glasses. Ooh, hooray! When I look at a wine glass, I see that they are super symmetrical. This is going to influence how I decide to draw. If I just try to draw the wine glass as I see it, I know it will be pretty asymmetrical. The best way I can help myself is by drawing a shape this object will fit inside. First, we measure out where the base of the wine glass ends. Then, at the top of the rectangle, we measure out how large the opening of the wine glass is. Don't forget to make your vertical line going down the rectangle. That is the line of symmetry, and it will let us know whether one side is slightly off. About halfway between the line of symmetry is where the rim begins. And notice that I'm not just drawing a random curve. I'm drawing it according to what the picture is like. Don't just randomly draw a curve just because. You have to look at your reference photo. I am also going to mark down where the bottom of the wine glass is. The bottom of the wine glass is just a smushed oval, and the rim of the wine glass is also a very smushed oval. Now I'm going to draw the stem of the wine glass. Once I have that down, you basically have your wine glass, and there you have it, a glass of wine with wine in it. How nice. Next, we're going to be drawing lamps. What you're going to find is most things in nature are symmetrical, but less symmetrical than man-made objects. For this first lamp, I chose this nice IKEA situation. Yeah, very modern. I'm going to create a rectangle for this lamp to live inside, a nice little house. I'm going to draw a vertical line of symmetry down this rectangle. Now we have to make sure that whatever we draw goes in the middle of this line of symmetry. What can help is if we draw one side on this line first, and then we can just mirror or copy that side. I'm gonna keep the top of the lampshade in the middle of this rectangle. And hooray, we made a lampshade together. I'm gonna make sure that my base is perfectly on the line of symmetry. It should match up with my lampshade above. This lamp base has a little collar. I'm going to draw a curved line on one side of this line of symmetry, and I'm gonna mirror that on the other side. Now I'm going to connect them, and there you go, you have a lamp. I mean, you're basically like an IKEA factory. You just made wine glasses and a lamp. Now we have a desk lamp. I love a good desk lamp. Desk lamps are so amazing. So first, big construction shapes. Get down how much space this lamp is gonna take up. It makes a very odd shape, like a diamond. In my mind, I can see this line that goes from the end of this metal lampshade all the way down to its base. You can make up whatever shapes you need to. All we need to do is roughly place where this lamp is gonna go on our page. Set up the foundation for a good sketch. I'm going to draw the rest of the arm of that lamp. This line that I've drawn through the lampshade is the line of symmetry. I'm also going to acknowledge this lamp base. I'm going to map out how wide the mouth of the lampshade is. Put two little markers here. Notice how light my pencil sketches are. Let's look at the anatomy of the lamp. What are the big details? The arms, and then the next big thing is the lampshade. The next thing is the base. Those are the three main elements. Let's begin working on construction shapes for those. I noticed that the lampshade has this really big part here where I guess the light bulb is stored. Do you see how I'm slowly breaking these big shapes into slightly smaller items? So this is kind of like a half circle of this lampshade. There are so many details in a drawing. Sometimes it can feel overwhelming. I made this a more detailed drawing. For your lesson and practice, you do not need to, and in fact, I would not recommend it. I ended up drawing handles and all sorts of nonsense on this. Instead, you should just focus on the big picture. Now let's put in place our lampshade joints. Do not overcomplicate this. I would say make the joints just circles, because that's really what they are. We slowly start to refine our sketch. Let's head back to the lampshade. That is the biggest, most prominent part on this whole piece. The opening of the lampshade is just a really small oval. This is because of perspective. On either side of this lampshade, it is basically a special curve. I have this line of symmetry drawn right here. I'm going to draw that curve on that side, another on that side. This rectangle is a little bit more complicated than this. You can see there's a cage and knobs coming off of it. Don't get so caught up in this. It's it's okay to just leave this as a rectangle. This rectangle goes into a smaller rectangle, which connects to a joint at the head of this lamp. That joint extends down into an arm. Let's draw all of our joints. Just draw the circles, no handles. We are essentially done with our lamp, and I added more details and all kinds of bells and whistles. Please don't do that. I know that last drawing was frightening and you're probably shivering your timbers right now, but it's okay if you didn't get it right. It was definitely a more complicated subject. I just want you to get used to having tools to build the foundation for a good drawing. That's all construction shapes are about. Our next subject is much more exciting to draw. And there you go, you have a car. I know those last two drawings are a lot harder, but I like to challenge you guys. It's okay to be uncomfortable, and I don't expect you to be amazing at drawing lamps and cars and putting all this detail into your art yet. It's just a good place to begin to stretch yourself. If you still feel like you need more exercises and more help, consider checking out the full version of this class I have on Patreon for $7 in my online shop.